Hello, everyone. I'm Bo from Brutal Commentary, and today I'm be breaking down our first fight for UFC Rio or UFC Oliveira versus Gamrot. Before I get down to the prediction, overall, I think this should be a pretty interesting card. Brazilian cards usually at least have some very good entertainment. Plus, it's always interesting to see if the invading team or the fighters from other nations defeat the Brazilians on home soil. It's always interesting to see if that happens just because how the home crowd feels and just the absolute love, Brazilians have for their fellow countrymen to win fights. So it should be very entertaining. Plus, you get to see Charles do Bronx Oliveira back in Brazil, and he hopes to remain undefeated when fighting in Brazil. So that'll be entertaining for sure. Overall, I'm looking forward to the fights on this card, more so the main card than some of the prelims, but I have a job to do, and let's get to it. Our first fight on the card, we have Saimon Oliveira versus Luan Lacerda. Oliveira is 18-6 as a professional, 2-3 in his last five fights, while Lacerda is 12-3 as a professional, 3-2 in his last five fights. So right off the bat, what's the common denominator with these two is they are both winless in all their UFC fights. 3 attempts for Oliveira, 2 for Lacerda. For Lacerda, he lost to Cody Stamann at UFC 283, 2 years ago in January, and then about a year ago or so when he got TKO'd by Damon Blackshear. Meanwhile, Oliveira lost to Tom Gravely back at UFC 270, I believe, and then got not TKO'd via knee to the body by Daniel Marcos at UFC 283 as well, and then has not fought since. And then he didn't fight for over a year after that fight. And when he did come back, he fought in March and got blown out of the water by David Martinez. Now, granted, you look at some of the people these two have fought, they're very good fighters. Or Cody Stamann back then was a pretty good fighter, or at least could beat the level of opposition both Oliveira and Lacerda are at right now. But, I mean, you think of some of these other people they fought. Damon Blackshear is pretty good. Daniel Marcos was undefeated, only lost to Montel Jackson, who's on this card, by the way. And David Martinez, who just beat Rob Font. So, they're not losing to necessarily scrubs, but I think one of them is probably getting the pink slip if they lose. Now, who's going to lose? Well, that's my job to say who I think will lose. So, looking at both Oliveira and Lacerda, they have one common thing between them as well. They're both pretty good grapplers. They have some striking, not good striking, but they have some striking to them. I'd say Lacerda is at least more responsible for his striking than Oliveira. Oliveira, he doesn't, no matter if he's pressuring or if he is conceding pressure, he always throws a spinning back fist, and it never works. I don't know why he constantly throws it. And even when he does, it doesn't set it up. He literally just spins, and you can see it a million miles away. It doesn't get most fighters. Now, like I said, their grappling is overall pretty good, but they haven't really had a good chance to implement it. For Oliveira, he just never has had a chance really to in his last two fights, because Daniel Marcos and David Martinez just kind of blew him out of the water. Meanwhile, with Lacerda, Damon Blackshear was just a superior grappler. Cody Stamann's a good wrestler. Now, in terms of who's the better grappler, I think the grappling itself would cancel each other out. Now, Lacerda, I believe, has better wrestling and better use of takedowns than Oliveira. He at least had taken fighters to the ground before, or in the UFC. It's just, it's so hard to pick a fight with two guys who are winless in the UFC. It's not, I don't want to say it's like who sucks less, but, who is clearly not of this level. That's the question. Now, I think I would lean towards Lacerda, simply due to the fact is, let's say their jiu-jitsu cancels out, and even though I think Lacerda is a better wrestler, let's say Oliveira is able to threaten with chokes or defend takedowns better than expected, and then it becomes mostly a striking battle, at which point I still favor Lacerda in all this. Because now granted, I know he got TKO'd by Damon Blackshear, but he wasn't dropped and badly knocked out by David Martinez like Oliveira was, while in the Marcos fight he suffered a knee to the body, but still. I mean, Oliveira just has such poor striking defense, poor boxing defense. That head does not move whatsoever. His hands are usually by his like chest or down while his chin is up. And again, he just throws that nonsensical spinning back fist with no setup. He can throw some other strikes, but I mean, come on, when he starts spamming the same spinning attack over and over again, it shows a low level of fight IQ when it comes to the striking arts. Now, again, good grappler. Very good grappler. But so is Lacerda. So if it all cancels each other out, I can see Lacerda scoring possibly a knockout, at the very least hurting Oliveira, because Oliveira seems to be pretty chinny. Odds for the fight, boys suck for betting on. Lacerda minus 250, plus 200 for Oliveira. I understand why, but you think two guys who are winless would be closer to a pick'em. I mean, I understand why Lacerda's a favorite, don't get me wrong, but man, 2-1 favorite over Oliveira, though? I guess I could say it. As for their physical specs, Lacerda is going to be bigger at 5'7" with a 71.5 inch reach. Now, Oliveira beats him by 0.5 with a 72 inch reach. Or as to say, beats his reach by 0.5 inches. While he himself is going to be a shorter fighter at 5'4". But overall, I got to go with Luna Lacerda. I just think he's got the better tools to implement his own grappling game with the wrestling. And I think on the feet, Oliveira makes too many mistakes, too defensively irresponsible. And I see Lacerda catching him at a lot of moments in the fight and hurting him bad. So, my official prediction, I'm going to go with Luna Lacerda. I think he could get a submission. Like, 10 of his 12 wins are by submission, so it's very likely. But I can also see a world where he catches Oliveira because he's chinny. All in all, I do think he can get the finish. I actually suspect he'll get the submission in this one. So, let's go Luna Lacerda, and I'm going with it submission. So that being said, that's been my breakdown of this matchup. If you like the video, comment and subscribe. Next up, we'll have Julia Pilastri versus Caroline Cavalcanfich. But until then, I've been Bo from Brutal Commentary. Thank you all for listening. Take care.